Someone very close was tested and failed big time. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Someone very close was tested, but they failed big time. Now I need y'all to understand something. Just like faith that has not been tested can't be trusted, the same thing as a friend. A friend who has not been tested cannot be trusted. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I can't trust you. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I can't trust you. See, this is not about being insecure. This is not about having trust issues. But what it is about is being surrounded by people who have been battle tested. Okay? So you got to have the war wounds. And you have to be strong in order to be around a true chosen one. All my true chosen ones, drop in the comments and say chosen. Yes, sir. For all my true chosen ones, drop in the comments and say chosen. See, it's the same thing with a family member, right? A family member who has not been tested cannot be trusted. Reno, what are you saying right now? Once again, y'all, just because you have a title, it doesn't mean that you are entitled to me. Just because you have been around me doesn't mean that you deserve that position, okay? And what a lot of people forget is that you have to be tested. When a job hire someone, what they do, y'all, they make sure that they have the right resume. They make sure that they have the adequate experience. They make sure that they are the right candidate to fulfill the position. They ain't just finna get no ordinary, regular, smuggler, ordinary Joe, right? It's just not finna happen. What is gonna happen is they're gonna make sure that they have a adequate candidate, okay? And so with that being said, y'all, they're gonna make sure that this person has been tested. But not only will they test them before they get the job, the opportunity, the spot, the position, they make sure that they test them while they are inside of the spot, the job, the opportunity. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Because once again, just like faith that has not been tested, it can't be trusted. Same thing, y'all. An employee that has not been tested can't be trusted. A friend that has not been tested can't be trusted. A family member, a relationship, a woman or a man who has not been tested can't be trusted. Now, the sad reality, y'all, is that this specific person failed miserably. They were placed in a position, they were placed in your home, they were placed in your life, they have been around you, and they have failed miserably. And y'all know what hurts the worst, y'all? It's because these are people who we expected to build with. These are people we expected to do right. We believed in them. Can you imagine investing into a stock or some type of cryptocurrency, investing into some type of business, and you don't put a lot of your investment, a lot of your money, a lot of whatever into it, and it fails, it falls down? It's gonna hurt. Why? Because you put a financial investment into it. But see, the investment don't just stop with a financial one, right? It even goes with emotional investing. When you invested into that person emotionally, okay? You gave them your love, you gave them your heart, right? When you invested into that person mentally, you thought the best about them. You seen past their flaws. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? You can invest into a person mentally, emotionally. You can invest into a person in many other ways, y'all, than only financially, okay? Now, of course, y'all, we're going to remember the money that we spent. I know we probably got some people who don't care about their money, but this Negro right here care about his money, all right? It's all about being conservative and making sure that you save, you know, and of course make the right decisions financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. But the point remains, y'all, whenever you have invested into a person, you got to make sure that this is the right person to invest into. So with that being said, they must be tested. Okay, they must be tested. But with that being said, y'all, as y'all can see, we are outside connected with nature. The goose are out, the geese are out. Okay, the ducks are ducking, all right, whatever you want to call it. People are out, family, and it's just a beautiful day out here. So I'm sending nothing but love, peace, happiness, and prosperity to the family, all right? But yeah, y'all, I can't remember what day it was. What is the day, family? It's April the something. Maybe it's April the 9th, April the 10th, one of them, y'all. But the point is, family, is that we are outside getting after it on this beautiful Wednesday. So let's go ahead and get to it, family. Y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Let's get into it, y'all. So first thing first, number one is temptation was present. All right, temptation was present. So a lot of times, y'all, people claim to be your number one homie, your number one friend, your number one road dog, right? However, whenever they are around the temptation, and whenever temptation is present, it shows exactly who they are, right? And so with that being said, y'all, let's just say you have a man who claims to be loyal to his woman, all right? And as y'all probably heard on Breakfast Club with Mike Epps, he was talking about how much men face temptation, not making it wrong or right, but it's the reality. There's a lot of men, especially successful men, who have to deal with the temptation of other women. Some are beautiful, some are smaller, some are taller. You know, some have positions, some make a lot more money, some make less. But the point remains, y'all, the temptation is real. All right. And so if this man is claiming how loyal he is, well, it's easy to be loyal when you're not around the temptation. Somebody may say, well, Reno, why would he put himself in that room? Why would he place himself around someone? See, that is good. However, it don't necessarily mean that you're strong, right? You got to be strong, y'all. See, how long can you run from the spirit? The spirit of seduction, the spirit of lust, right? The lying spirit, the spirit of privation, okay? The spirit of whatever. Reno, what are you saying right now? See, it's easy to separate yourself, put yourself in a cocoon, lock yourself in a room. Of course you ain't gonna slip up. But what happens when you have no choice but to be around the temptation? Are you strong enough? Are you able? Are you even willing to walk away from it? Not because you've been placed in this room or you have been placed in this environment to where you're not going to be around it anyway. That's nice, that's good, but you also got to be able to look the spirit directly in the face, right? Somebody drop in the comments and tell the spirit, I see you. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and tell the spirit, I see you, okay? But with that being said, y'all, when that temptation was present, it showed whether that man was 100% or if he was 50%, right? Why? Because when temptation is present, meaning when he is around these other women who are beautiful, these other women who are claiming to have the package, who are claiming to be loyal, who are claiming to have his best interests at heart. Matter of fact, y'all, it's almost like a buffet. You got pizza on this bar. You got lobster and steak on this bar. You have salad on this bar. You have, I don't know, seafood over here. You got all these different selections. We're going to see if you're going to be able to handle that temptation, right? And so what I'm simply saying is, y'all, when temptation is present, you see exactly who's real and you see exactly who's fake, all right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, I see your intentions. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I see your intentions. Now, as y'all heard, that was the helicopter. There's always helicopters right here roaming in this part. So if y'all can bear with it, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in and locked in and, you know, cut it out. It's all good. But here we are, y'all. Number 2, loyalty was challenged. Loyalty was challenged. Now, this right here is very similar to the temptation one, right? But I'm going to make the distinction right now, immediately. See, I don't just mean when I say loyalty that a person is owed that. I'm not saying that a person deserved to have someone to be loyal to them. But when you claim to be in this position, when you claim to be around someone for all the right reasons, when you claim to be their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their husband, their wives, best friend, whatever the case is, even a family member, when you claim to be that for someone and to someone, there's a certain level of loyalty that comes with that. So for instance, let's just say we want to sign a record deal. And within this record deal, we have to share the proceeds. We have to share the percentages, right? Whether there's bumps included or whether this is just our flat out deal, whatever the case is, we share this opportunity. And let's just say somebody come around and they start telling them, hey man, you would be a lot better if you was by yourself. You would be a lot better if you didn't have to be in this group. I can offer you a better record deal. Matter of fact, you can go solo. Y'all know what I'm hitting at. When it came to Jackson 5, he went solo. I'm not saying for these reasons, but again, he went solo. I'm talking about even in New Edition, how they was trying to get Ralph Trashvant, excuse me if I'm butchering his name, but when they was trying to get him by himself. See, it's a certain loyalty that comes with it. If we come in together, we leave out together. Especially y'all coming from where I come from. That's how we was raised, right? If you went there with your friends, you leave back with your friends. If you went there with your siblings, then you leave back with your siblings, right? Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? It's a certain loyalty that comes with it. Now, let's just say they're in this industry and, they go through the first year, take care of the contract, and now it's time to renew it. And one person has already been, a seed has been planted into them, right? Now they're thinking that they better than what they are, and now they're thinking that they can get more money. And this is part of the reason why Migos broke up. Just my opinion, right? RP to Takeoff. But sticking to the point, y'all, loyalty is challenged when you are surrounded by money, when you are surrounded by opportunity, when you are surrounded by women, when you are surrounded by powerful people, when you have access to resources. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? So this group who has been signed to this record label, it's going to take a certain level of loyalty to stick together. It's going to take a certain level of loyalty to stick together. Why is that, Reno? Because once again, if you haven't been tested, then you can't be trusted. We all come in together. We all love one another in the beginning. But when we go through these obstacles, when we go through these hardships, when we meet new people, when we go to new places, when we are traveling, are you going to still be the same? I was watching a video, y'all. I can't remember if it was Instagram or Facebook, but I seen that it was a young lady who was just acting a fool. And she had been, I think that was in Jamaica or something like that. But she was acting a fool over I think $13. You can't take people like that with you out of town. I think it was some type of girls trip. But these people will make you lose everything that you have. Her loyalty was tested. Her loyalty was challenged, right? If you don't care about yourself, then that means that you automatically don't care about me. You're going to put us both in jail. You're going to get us both killed. That's a form of a loyalty check. You have to not only be loyal to a person if you're going to fill out for the position or play that role, but you got to be loyal to yourself. And if you're not able to do that for you, I'm just a lost cause. But sticking to the point, y'all, that group that signed to that record label, we're going to see how loyal they stay when the women get involved, the resources, the powerful people, opportunities, awards, ego. It's a big one, right? But that's the point, y'all. Their loyalty was challenged. Number 3 is going to be this right here, family. They didn't have unconditional love. So no unconditional love, right? Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, no unconditional love. When you love a person with conditions, that means that you don't really love that person, right? Like, I'm talking about that real agape love, that divine love. Whether you have it all or you have lost it all, my love does not change, right? If you have one leg, one arm, if you have no legs, my love has not changed, okay? Reno, what are you saying right now? A lot of times, y'all, people who are close to us, they have not yet been tested, but yet we put them in this position that means so much. I was listening to, I want to say it was T.K. Kirkland, and he was speaking about how he would never get married again, right? I'm not against it, nor am I for it. I'm kind of indifferent because I understand his perspective, and I also understand other people's perspectives who like, hey man, I want to get married again. I want to die with someone. I want to have love, right? So I understand both perspectives. However, he was like, I would never do that. And the reason why is because my life, my livelihood, who I am as a man is in the hands of another person. So that means if they're successful, then hey, I'll become successful. If they fail, then hey, I fail. If they lose something, then I lose something. It's like it can be either a win-win or a lose-lose. But it is a chance that you take when you get married. Well, the point of me even bringing that up is that that's a clear indication that some people don't have that unconditional love. It's with conditions. A lot of people want someone and want some things and want to be a part of some things and some people. However, it is with conditions. See, when a person says, I'm here only for this, that means that is a condition. When a person says, I'm willing to give you this as long as you give me that, that is a condition. But when a person says, I'm going to show up regardless. So guess what? If I win, you not only win, but we celebrate our wins together. Guess what? If I lose, you not only lose, but we're going to figure out how to win again. But the problem is, we don't have many people in this world who are willing to love people unconditionally, right? If a woman says, I want me a man who's 6 feet, I want me a man who makes 6 figures, and I want me a man who drives a Mercedes Benz. Well, the moment he loses a leg, the moment he loses his income, and the moment he loses that Mercedes Benz, she don't love him no more. It wasn't unconditional love. But see, he didn't allow her love to be tested, to even be able to see that it was not unconditional love. Make sense of what I'm saying, people? So understand something. Someone very close was tested and they failed big time, right? However, we continuously give them chance after chance after chance to disappoint us. But before you know it, we end up hurting ourselves, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, don't hurt yourself. Number 4, y'all, ego got in the way. Ego got in the way. This right here is very big, y'all. You got to pay attention to people who have ego. Now, ego is very big with men, but according to women, y'all, I didn't make the rules, but according to women says that women have ego as well. They call it her she-go, right? They call it a she-go. But when a person's ego has gotten in the way, that means that they don't care enough to stay in your life or vice versa, and they don't see you as significant enough to check that ego. Somebody drop in the comments and say, check your ego. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, check your ego. You know, y'all, one of the most intriguing things about father and son relationship is they both have ego, but one has to check it more than the other. The father has to check the ego more than the son does, because guess what? The son is the son. He's the child. The father is the adult, okay? And so with that being said, y'all, is that why a lot of relationships, father-son duos, does not last or does not come back together, is because that father is technically still a child. Although he's in an adult body, he's still a child because he can't check his ego. See, how can you call yourself a father if you have not been tested? It's going to be times when your son feel like he can beat you. It's gonna be times when your son feel like he knows more than you. But what happens when you're placed in a position to actually check that ego, right? Check that ego. And this also goes to unconditional love as well, right? I was listening to a podcast with Marlon Wayans, and he was talking about how his girl, his baby girl was gay. You know, she came out, she was homosexual. He said at first, she became a trans. He said at first, I didn't like it. He said it took me about a week. He was like, that was the longest week ever for me to recover from that, right? But he said that broke me because the lesson was you got to have unconditional love. But even more importantly, it was an ego check. He said, God said, check your ego, son. I'm not excusing and saying that homosexuality is okay. I'm not saying that, right? Because clearly it is abomination as well as detestable. However, y'all, it doesn't mean that your child does not deserve to be loved. What I am simply saying is that is another form of unconditional love, and also an ego check. You got to check that ego, y'all. All right. Number 5, integrity was on the line, right? Number 5 is integrity was on the line. We all know that integrity is what are you doing when no one is looking. Everybody can do right when everybody's looking, right? I can be out here picking up trash where everybody's looking. I got my trash bag on. I got the trash suit on. I'm out here acting like a certified garbage man. Anybody can go out here and do the right thing when everybody looking. Anybody can. I turned her down, baby. But are you going to turn her down, baby, when she's not looking? When you in the room butt naked with Beyonce? I'm just being honest. Let's be real. Integrity is when you can walk away. Integrity is when you can do the right thing when nobody is looking. So you have to make sure that these people are tested. More specifically, their integrity is tested. I tell people who I'm around all the time, don't do it because I'm looking. Do it because I'm not. Do it because this is how I would be in front of, or do it because this is the response that you would want from me, whether I'm here or not. Don't do it because I'm right here. You know, me and my siblings would have this joke called brownie points, right? Well, we try to see who can kiss up the mom the best. You know, we try to see who can make her smile, make her laugh, make her proud the best. But we're doing it because she's right there. It's not really genuine. We're trying to get what we call brownie points. A lot of people, they don't really have integrity. They're just trying to get brownie points because they want you to see them in a certain light. So it's not real. But the moment y'all go through a real war, a true battle, you're going to see who have integrity and who does not. Okay? A person who has true integrity would be a Mohandas Gandhi, right? A Malcolm X. Okay? Anybody who stand tall on their beliefs, their morals, all right, and their true identity. Someone very close was tested and they failed big time. All right. With that being said, y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all check out any one of these Yes Sir t-shirts, book a one-on-one session with me, enroll into my social influence course, as well as check out any one of my books, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.